HaYom Yom sayings by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. In the early time, when the first Rebbe of Chabad just started to lead the Chabad movement, so this is one of his teachings. It says, Me Hashem mitzadei gaver konanu, that the steps of man are directed by God. What does this mean? It means that if a Jew comes to a certain place for a purpose to do a commandment, whether it's a commandment between him and someone else to give charity, to teach Torah, or a commandment between man, if it's between him and God, like putting on tefillin or whatever, or it's a mitzvah between man and his fellow man, like we said, to build a school. So no matter where you are, a Jew is always God's emissary. Wherever an emissary is, a messenger, a shliach, he represents the power of the one who sent him. Right? Like in the American army, I don't know how it is other places, a soldier that does something wrong, so he's judged by a military tribunal because he represents the army. It's not an individual person. It's not that he's guilty. If he does something wrong, the whole army is guilty. Right? Look what the American soldiers do. He stole from my cash register. That's what the American soldier. So it's bad. The same thing every Jew. Every Jew represents God. So wherever you are, you represent God. What does it mean? That God put us here in order to fix up the world. That's why we're here. So every moment we're representative of God. The fact that the souls are higher than the angels, and the angels are also emissaries of God, is that the angels are messengers because that's the way they're created. And the Jews, the souls, they're messengers by our free will. We're messengers by virtue of the Torah. So we are empowered by the Torah to transform the world. And angels haven't got that power. They haven't got the power of the Torah to transform the world. Nature rules over them. It just happens to be that their nature is to be interested in God all the time. Okay, so no matter where we are, even if it seems to be an accident, you should know that you're there for a purpose, to spread godliness out. And I'll just tell a short story, but this happened to me twice. I have this car that's sort of an old car, and a couple things that broke down. So first of all, it always broke down on Fridays, where I go to do Mivtzoyim, in this big marketplace in Tel Aviv. Okay, so it broke down. Each time I had to take a taxi home. Each time I took a taxi home, the taxi cab driver had big problems in his life. Big problems in his life. And it always dealt with Torah commandments in some way. Right? One was he hated the religious Jews, hated them, couldn't stand them. We talked on the way home. It was 15 minutes, something like that. It was a very nice conversation. And he said, he changed my whole attitude about religious people. I put tefillin on him. He said, I never put on tefillin. I never will. He put on tefillin. He called his wife up when he had the tefillin on. And his wife said, Shlomi, what happened to you? What happened? Says, there's a rabbi over here. I waved to her. She waved back to me. That was like 4 weeks ago. I had problems with the water pump, what it was. And then last week was the same thing, right? A Jew, and he said he has visions and he has problems and he has this, and a whole group of us. And we talked to him. He said, thank you very much. He also put on tefillin. He had stopped for years. He said he put on. So wherever you're sent, I was tremendously disappointed by my car. Just really, what are you going to do? And I had to put out money for it also. Tremendous, and I had to come back, and it took all my time, and it was Erev Shabbos and everything like that. Tremendous. But on the other, I thought exactly of this. I said, listen, wherever you are, for whatever happens is for the good. It's all from God. I said, yeah, but it cost me 2,000 shekels. Listen, God will provide the money. I have to tell myself all these things, which it should come naturally. A big holy Jew, to give classes, it didn't come naturally. But on the other hand, it's listen, okay, it's bad, but don't be so occupied about the bad things. What about the good things? Maybe talk to this guy. Oh, I said, right, that's right. So there's a saying that if we thanked God for the good, we wouldn't have time to complain about the bad. So wherever you are, no matter what you are, there's some good purpose there. Do it. Now the story.